Just Cause 4 is better than Just Cause 3. It's not a very high bar to pass, but it's still better at least. The performance is significantly improved, there's less frame rate problems, there's less load times and going in and out of missions. And getting around with the wingsuit is still as fun as it's ever been. Like navigating the city and the environments and the countryside and crossing the countryside to go 600 miles for a mission is still fun, because it's just fun to wingsuit. Like that's the one thing that Just Cause games have always got really good, is the controls for the wingsuiting and parachuting. That still feels incredibly satisfying and fun. Unfortunately, all the bits where you have to shoot at mans aren't. It's hard to see people. You get mortared and grenaded from off screen quite often and can't really tell what's going on until it's too late. There's damage indicators, but they're kind of bad at telling you where you're actually getting shot from, so it's not super fun. There's also no difficulty options, so if you're having trouble with the combat, like I have been, then, well, get good is pretty much what the game says to you, because it doesn't care. And all the weather stuff that you talk about in trailers, that's pretty much relegated to story missions. Let's jump into the map quickly and show you that. So, as you progress through the game, you will gain squads of men who will be able to tie up the border between stuff you control and stuff the enemy controls. So, like for instance, to take Alta Yucca, I have to clear the Fortaleza release to advance, which if I go do this mission here, will mean I can capture this area and I'll get a squad back because the front lines will move up towards the north. And you have to capture that area to be able to do missions to upgrade your stuff towards doing the weather missions. Like for instance, I have access to one down here for tornado stuff. But that's the only time it really pops up, is when you're doing those story missions, because if you're not doing the story missions, there's just nothing. There's no extreme weather effects at all. That's just trailer nonsense. And there's often a mission to unlock practically every single one of these regions, and none of them have been any fun. Like, they're all generic Just Cause missions, like, you know, hack computers, hang out near them until they stop, drive people to places, don't get killed on the way. I mean, it's all fine, and it's still better than Just Cause 3, because the chaos stuff ties into it better. Like, raising chaos to gain army units to be able to expand your control across the map makes more sense than just, you know, general points. And for 100% completion, you don't have to like scour bases for every destructible object anymore. You just have stuff like the AR challenges, which is essentially your detective vision. So like for instance, there's a wingsuit stunt up here that's only 500 meters away, and it'll have you fly through a bunch of rings to get some points to unlock mods. And at least that stuff is handled a lot better than 3, because in 3 I had to load you into an actual challenge, and then when you were done with the challenge it gave you a scoreboard and it connected to the servers to compare you to your friends, and the whole thing just took up way more time than it really should have done. So yeah, it's fine. I'd say it's like a 6 out of 10 kind of game, 7 out of 10 kind of game. I just don't really want to keep playing it, because everything I've played of it so far has just been mediocre. Okay, good news, PSN. You can stop doing that now. Like, it's fine. It's just not worth 70 quid. And there's nothing wrong with that. When it eventually goes free in PS Plus, I'll dive back into it and have some fun. But for what's here, it's not super interesting.